What's good, YouTube? Vakasa Kavi here. So we're diving into another one of Upchurch's videos that he put up. This topic is something that has been very highly discussed over the last month or two on YouTube specifically. A lot of people have talked about this. There's been many discussions of what could be going on with it, how it's shady, how there's a lot of weird factors that play in to the wildfire situation, not just Maui, but in the whole world, really, right? The whole world has some strangeness that goes on with that, and it's been going on for quite a while now, and it's something that's actually been starting to be talked about more. So I'm interested to see what church's take on it is. I think everybody kind of has a little bit of a different takeaway when it comes to situations like the wildfires in the world. So a lot of different directions that I've seen it taken, so I'm curious to see what Church has to say about it. I always like hearing his opinions on things, and like I say on here, and like Church himself has said, you don't have to agree with everything that he says, and he doesn't want to make you think like him. He's just on here to say how he feels and maybe open up the mind for some more free thought and out of the box type of thinking. That's what it's all about. So if that's not your thing, then you know where to go, right? I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate you guys leaving your opinions in the live chats on the last few of these that we've done. You guys have said some really smart stuff in the live chats for the last couple of these that we've done, just talking about the system and how things in the news are convoluted and watered down and not telling the truth. You guys have had some awesome conversations about that in the chats, so I appreciate that as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to get into this. Vakasa Kabi. A reaction video a day keeps the doctor away. Fuck those apples. We got Upchurch with the Maui wildfire situation is odd.
Alright, let me just say this first before we start this video. If anybody on the internet is trying to discredit or slander anyone who is throwing possibilities out there or ideas on where all these children are coming up missing and where are they at, where are they going, how are they disappearing, if you're trying to sway that at all, you are already on every good person's shit list for talking like a fucking weirdo who likes that kind of stuff. Your comment holds no weight. You're not trying to do anything. You're not throwing any possibilities out there. All you're doing over there is sitting there being the fucking weirdo who don't want other men and women to wonder where anyone is at. So with that being said, go fuck yourself. Fuck the
Thank you, Church. Thank you.
the comment section. Won't you find us Americans in a motherfucking field somewhere and let's see who the fuck is the baddest motherfuckers on the planet. Cause it ain't you, bitch. Love is stronger than hate on any fucking given day. There's a lot of kids out there that deserve love that are fucking getting stolen from their loved ones and evil shit's being done. Well, you know what? We love fighting evil. We love fighting evil so much we put it in country music. We put it in country music that we beat the devil's ass. And I don't know about any other country, I only know about my own. And I think every other country already knows this. We're kind of bred to go look for trouble because that's what the fuck we like to do.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
And before we get into the topic of this video, I would like to say this. There's a lot of new people watching me right now. I understand that a lot of people see this like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Nothing, motherfucker. There's two different fights in the world. That's it. The good fight and the bad fight. I don't care if you're white, black, Mexican, gay, lesbian, straight. It matters none to me. If you're fighting the good fight, I'm standing beside you and I'm standing back to back with you. If you're on the bad end, well, then get the fuck from around me. Now, let's get started on the topic of this video.
Alright. There it was.
We do begin with a terrible reality sinking in after wildfires raced across Maui. 55.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. That, to me, it seemed like, well, they were saying that help was being denied and a lot of things like that. And then they were saying that people were denying help. There was a lot of different directions that narratives that were being said. I was struggling to find which narrative about this might be correct because the news itself was even pushing separate ones depending on where the source was coming from. So there's so much convoluted news behind this whole situation, and many people, as this is saying, definitely went missing inside of it. That's a whole fucking problem that we need to consider. Everything's shady, man. It's all fucking shady.
People have died in this fire. Officials even saying they've barely began the process for looking for survivors.
The death toll rising and likely to go higher.
Where wildfires have killed at least 6 people.
Horrible fire reduced Lahaina to ashes.
Sometimes moving on means moving out, and that's the case for a few families on Maui who are opting to leave Lahaina behind after devastating wildfires.
Devastating fires of Maui changed the island and its residents forever.
Now, look, I know some of y'all's thinking, oh, this is old news. Yeah, well, sometimes you got to go back and look at old news to make new news make more sense. Now, I know most of us watching this video are on the same page. There's something weird about the Maui shit, obviously. That's why there's 1,000 fucking videos about the sketchiness, the fucking weird facts, the inconsistent storylines, the different changing numbers of how many people's missing, how many people's dead, blah, 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 blah. But see, that's exactly what they want to do. They want to fuck your brain up with too many facts. So when you hear too many facts, you just stop giving a shit because your brain has a damn governor on it. Wa-da-da, wa-da-da, wa-da-da. And you're like, fuck, it's too much for my brain. I can't handle it right now. That's what happens. That's what it's designed to do, so you don't look into it.
I just said that was what was happening to me, right? I was sitting there like, fuck, there's so many of these going on. I don't know which perspective to look at in the deepest fashion to find a true answer or solution for myself, right? That point the church made right there was happening to myself when it came to that Maui fire situation. It's like I said, there was so much in different narratives and different directions. It was hard to center in on one thing that it could particularly be. So let's see what church has for us with this.
Then what happens? Then we, the people, get frustrated because we didn't find any answers and we're not sharing opinions to see what's really going on. Then what do? We turn to the government and we say, we need answers. Well, I think they need fucking answers too. But we can't just sit here and pawn everything off on them and then bitch at them and then ask for the answers. And I'll tell you why. The whole government's not bad. The whole of nothing is not all the way bad, including that. And with the way the atmosphere is with society and our government, what is most people doing, including myself at one point? Roping it all in together, being like, yeah, it's all bad. It's not. We still got to watch out for our fellow neighbor.
Yeah,
and
that's
people
facts.
that work in our government are our fellow neighbors. Some are good, some are bad. Just like everything else compartmentalized in life. It's all about communication. And I know it sounds cliche, but you don't understand the levels of communication. It's more than you know about. It's more than the majority knows about. That's for damn sure. And listen, I know a lot of y'all may already know this, so just watch the comments for me and try to educate people. So check it. Whether you like Alex Jones or not, the fact of the matter is, he was talking about Epstein's Island years and years and years and years and years before anyone else. There's no denying that. He also told us about this language where they replaced certain words with food or beverages. So like a certain kind of food meant a girl, a certain kind of food meant a boy. Different condiments on the food meant different hair color and shit like that. But here's the thing. How do you think he knew about the island before everyone? If he didn't figure this weird-ass language out that was masked with a language that everybody already knew. He wouldn't have found it without this language. He followed the language and was like, oh shit, there's a whole ass island dedicated to this. And we're talking like 20 years ago.
So we know Epstein's Island's real. And I used to think that was fucking insanity. Alex Jones was telling me about that over a decade ago. There's an island,
that's nuts.
They compromise people on this island. They get them go there. These are hot girls. They look hot, but they're 16. He's telling me this whole thing. I was like, what?
Here's another fact. You cannot deny that Alex Jones predicted 9/11, like only a couple months before it actually happened.
We know the Joint Chiefs of Staff wanted to blow up airliners, Baltimore Sun, or if you let some terrorist group do it, like the World Trade Center, we know who to blame. And if there was an outside threat like a bin Laden, who was a known CIA asset in the 80s, he's the boogeyman they need.
Okay, now let's look up.
How do you think he figured that out?
I haven't seen that clip before. Holy shit. Thanks for showing that, Church. I hadn't seen that. That's wild.
Probably some sort of fucking weird-ass language that's being used right in front of your face. Otherwise, you wouldn't have known these fucking very, very important things in history that are happening before they happen. Now think about how many women wouldn't have been trafficked to that island if everybody would just shut up and listened and considered it. Just at least considered it. Would we still have the World Trade Center if somebody would have considered what he was saying 3 months before? Back when Alex Jones did mention this language that was being used with food and beverages like we're talking about before. It's called Pizzagate, by the way, if you want to look this up. What did everyone do? Everyone jumped on his shit and tried to make a mockery of him, being like,
I remember that.
He says there's tunnels underneath these buildings. Crazy. If there is tunnels underneath fucking churches that we're finding out about now, in the middle of Brooklyn, that no one ever knew about, you don't think there could be a tunnel under Chuck E. Cheese? Alright. I mean, if you want to be that fucking dumb, go ahead. I'm not. I know some of y'all are probably like, I thought we were talking about Maui. We're getting there. We're not off topic yet. I'm just trying to set the tone and make people understand that there are languages that you can't speak using the language that you speak every single day of your life. What would you think if I told you all these pedos and weirdos communicate with each other right out in front of everybody with maps, weather channels, daily forecast, and professional sports teams? We'll get there. Probably not in this video, but we'll get there. Here's the problem with relaying this theory. People who understand what I'm saying, most of us have no one to tell this stuff to. When we try to, what do? You're crazy, you're on drugs, like they do everyone else. Or, on the other hand, when you're trying to tell someone, this takes a long time to fathom. You have to look into this shit a fuck ton to even get the tip of the iceberg. So you can't really blame the other person for not comprehending what you're saying, because a lot of folks don't have the time in the day to do this. They got kids to...
He's not wrong about that, what he just said there. It's a long dive down a lot of different directions to even figure out the basis of shit as complicated as what he's talking about. And even then, you'll still barely graze the surface with thousands of hours into it, because a lot of it is misinformation. A lot of it is incorrect, and you have to funnel through that to find the shit that is actually the truth, which takes discernment. You have to learn discernment. It's not just something that's generally given when it comes to stuff like this. You have to learn discernment. And that, like I said, is a skill that takes a long time to learn and to be applied, and thousands of hours of research will even barely graze the top of the iceberg on stuff like this. He's not wrong about that. Most people really just don't have the time to dive in like that.
Care of. They got a job to be at. They got to go to sleep. They got to clean their house. They got to pay their bills. They got to feed their dogs. There's no time left. Some of us do have time to look at this stuff, so we can't be mad at people for not understanding. You just have to explain it in baby steps and show examples of it so folks will start to understand. And that's where Maui comes in. So with the Maui situation, what is one of the key points that everyone has made? That there's a bunch of missing kids. Okay, so we got the most bizarre fire that's happened in 100 fucking years. Nobody knows how the fire started. They're blaming it on a fucking hurricane that was 800 miles away. Firefighters couldn't access water to put it out. They wouldn't turn water on to put it out. And no siren at all went off whatsoever. And I've heard, well, the siren's not used for fires. Well, the hurricane started the fire, said some bogus-ass news channel. So if the hurricane started the fire, the hurricane was the first problem. You have a siren the whole island can hear, and it's for tsunamis, but not for hurricanes. Well, and what are you going to say? Well, the hurricane wasn't a problem. No, you said the hurricane started the fire. If it's close enough to start a fire on the island, I mean, I think you can click on the sirens. But we all know a hurricane didn't start the fire. Would the hurricane just show up as a big wave with a lighter and was like, yep, here we go? Last time I checked, water put out fire. So, well, that's weird. It's starting to sound like people are talking in code using the weather. Go ahead, please laugh. Make a dumbass comment so I could go through your playlist and show you every music artist doing the same exact thing. So I say, I make it rain on them hoes. I set fire to the red, thunderstruck. I ain't saying those songs are secret codes for something. I'm just showing you how it's already done. I'm just giving you an example. If musicians will do it to write good songs, I mean, I'm sure criminals will do it to get away with shit. So anyway, moving on. So as I'm looking up this Maui stuff today, and I see that it involves a fuck ton of missing kids that there's still no answer for. And I was like, how is that possible? It's such a small-ass island. Nobody knows nothing until tonight, when I'm looking at all these Maui breaking news clips. And I'm seeing there's missing kids and all this other stuff, and then something pops up that raised my eyebrows and my jaw hit the fucking floor.
And there's a traffic, issue, and you can't get away. And that was in my mind the entire time, is we have to leave before it becomes a point where we can't.
And we've seen this time and time before. Right. GPS goes out, cell service is down. I mean, that is not the time to figure things out.
Right. Preparation is key. It remains the #1 message when dealing with dangerous fire weather.
You hear that, y'all? You got to prepare for that fire weather. Not just the fire weather.
An added layer to California's preparation is alerting us to a particularly dangerous situation for red flag warnings. The National Weather Service fine-tuning the criteria when weather can accelerate fire growth at a rate that will be difficult to escape. And
now, would you look at there? Look who's in the background. What are you doing sitting here being in the background about Hawaii news that involves a bunch of missing kids? You didn't see it? Look. So you mean to tell me I'm watching a news clip about Maui, Hawaii, that has to do with missing kids, and something that has to do with Placer County, Nevada is there? You all know where we've seen Placer County, Nevada. Yeah, during the whole Kylie Rodney thing. A missing child.
Good afternoon. I'm Angela Musalam, the Public Information Officer for the Placer County Sheriff's Office. I'm joined by our Unified Command today, and we're providing an update on the investigation and search for Kylie Rodney.
Be difficult to escape, and CAL FIRE offers this advice.
Listen for the high-low sirens.
You're telling Maui to listen for a siren. Motherfucker, they had sirens. No one turned the sirens on. Not only that, Placer County, Nevada, what are you doing talking about Maui for? We all know y'all have an issue with missing kids, okay? I think everyone knows who watches my channel. So answer me this, why the hell are you commenting on anything that has to do with Maui? Do you know how far away you are from Maui? 2,486 miles away. That's so weird. Why are you popping up in this situation 2,486 miles away? Just last year, I covered a missing underage girl. And I tried to help find this little girl by using my platform on social media. When I did, a bunch of these big YouTube channels, and one in particular fucking weird-ass Ukrainian fat-ass bitch, attacked the fuck out of me. And now, the same fucking town you was fucking around in is popping up 2,486 miles away, where there's a bunch of kids missing from an island. Well, that's awkward. That's extremely awkward. Explain that. What's that all about?
It's fucking weird, man. It is fucking weird.
Wait a minute. You know what even makes this more weird? What I said 2 videos ago applied to this now. If you're a sex trafficker who has undocumented kids. Those kids are terrestrials. That makes you a terrestrial that has extraterrestrials. And those extraterrestrials, by definition, are aliens. They're undocumented. So you mean to tell me that Placer County, aka the town of Truckee, is popping up in shit in Maui that involves some fuckery? And this is 1 year ago. 1 year ago. These two people that were in Truckee in Placer County are doing everything they can to get me to stop talking about this missing girl or girls. And look at these motherfuckers and look how they talk about shit. And you tell me there ain't no weird ass shit going on. All right, so let me fill you in on Tony and tell you how Tony fits into this situation. So on Tony Dodge's Facebook, on his GPS check-ins, guess what? He checked in somewhere on August 9th and August 11th. Do you know where that might be? Truckee. Point out the obvious weird shit about this Tony Dodge character. Let me just show you a little tiny clip on who the fuck this dude is.
I'm into pedophilia, man. Well, not pedophilia, but necrophilia. I'm into pedophilia, man.
Yeah, he just said he likes little kids and has a fetish for dead bodies. Yeah, I know. This is the kind of communicating that goes on late at night at YouTube. I just so happened to catch it and call the motherfuckers out. By the way, that guy's name is Tony Dodge. His channel is called the All-American Dream Chaser. Go tell him what you think. Over and over and over. Fuck that guy. Fucking creep. So then, on this YouTube channel, a fucking fat Ukrainian bitch pops up on there. Then she starts going in on me, and I'm like, who the fuck are you? Come to find out, apparently, her name is Anastasia Mainich, and she works for NASA. Guess which department she works in? Oh, emergency management for natural disasters and man-made threats. Christ.
Wow. Like, the correlation is strange. It's almost fucking impossible. That's what it seems. It should be impossible, but it's there. And that's coincidences like that. No. That's not a small coincidence. It's so direct that it's obvious if you take the time to actually notice it, which Upchurch has. It's strange. He's not out of pocket, right? Like, it's a very strange thing. I don't even know what to make of it. It's so shocking and blows your brain back, essentially. It's fucking weird, man.
Cease. What the fuck you doing playing on YouTube? Hanging out where little girls are coming up missing, you fat bitch. So me and her swapped a few words and whatnot. Now keep in mind, this was over a year ago. And the same exact place where kids went missing last time is popping up talking about Maui stuff where there's still kids missing. So the relation is a bunch of kids missing. The odds of this are so unlikely, but it's right here. It's misinformation.
That is. I mean, he's got you on that. You just got to admit you're wrong.
Now listen, just to make sure you're not lost in what's going on, this whole situation that me and these two dweebs are fucking arguing about is missing underage kids in Placer County. And they pop up in Maui and got missing kids. The two people that I'm arguing with on this panel, one is a bitch who says she works for NASA and is hanging out canoeing where missing kids are. She's like, what? I'm just here for no reason. Oh, there's missing kids? What do you know? And then the other guy, Tony, he's the same guy from earlier. He was like, look at me. I like little kids and dead bodies. You can't make it up. You can't. But here are these people, man. Here they are.
Y'all
are sloppy. Y'all suck.
No.
I will find this.
Somebody's gonna be pissed
I
at you, bro.
I don't have it. I have it in my files.
I don't give a fuck about your
Snapchat.
files.
I have it in my files.
I don't
show
care.
it to you.
I don't care. You're still a liar, dude.
I am not.
Okay,
Thank you for
then why are you lying? if you're
Ryan,
not a
thank
liar?
you for your opinion.
You sure you're a crisis? I don't think she's a crisis manager. I think she's a fucking criminal because she can't even argue with me. She sucks. Look at her. She's freaking the fuck out, and I love it. Fuck both of y'all weirdos. Where did she come from?
Ryan, I don't know, man. This is a complete mess. We got a shit show
Not
here,
a mess, and that's why she's freaking out, bro. It's not a mess. It's very simple to figure out. Why do you think everybody's telling me I'm on drugs? Dude, I'm the only person who's been figuring shit out before the cops go do it.
You want proof? Hold on.
Why are you so scared? You want proof? Hold on.
Play it from the beginning.
I'm not going to play it from the beginning.
Told you she's fucking guilty. Boom, motherfuckers. Just my job to tell y'all to be like, hey, guys, here's the fucking weirdos. So that's what I'm doing. And by the way, speaking of all this, I'll leave you with this video. Listen to this conversation that's going on. It involves this anime girl who's always hanging around where fucking kids come up missing. Listen to what their conversation is about. They're talking about, you'll see the title. She's talking about aliens and extraterrestrials with her fucked up, weird looking friends. You listen to this panel conversation that happened late as fucking night, and you tell me if you know what they're talking about. Remember in the beginning of the video where I'm telling you about how these weirdos talk with their own fucking weird ass language? Okay, well, listen to this.
So I do have a question. If, let's pretend like aliens do exist, right? Let's pretend like they're real. We already confirmed it. You know, we made a contact and everything else. So we're trying to integrate them into our society, right? Mm-hmm. If you were a tour guide, right? What would be the first site that you would take that alien to?
Maybe Utah, because those weird little things in the caverns and stuff like that too.
Okay.
Mount Vesuvius.
Oh, okay. The reason?
Because if you've never been, you need to. It's just an extraordinary sight. Although I would love to take them to Iceland. I've never been, and that's a place that I dream about going. So I would like to share a first experience with the aliens in Iceland.
Okay.
The hot springs out there?
I've never been, so I have no,
Okay, so they live among us, aka the Kardashians, Bernadette. So Lisa Vu said Grand Canyon. Yeah, drop in a chat. Where would you take them as a tour guide?
I personally, I would take them to Barbados.
Barbados.
My family is from there, and when I've been there, I'm just like it just feels like the best place on earth that I've personally been. So I would want to share that.
Mount Vesuvius popped into my head so quickly because that's where my family's at. So
okay,
yeah, we're all from mostly Jules, Michael, and I. We're from the Gulf of Mexico area, so we do have a certain tropical vibe.
So Kat said,
where would you take them in, right?
In a minute. So Kat said, no, where I'd ask for them to take me elsewhere. Hey, that's a good one. Yeah. So I would, the 7 Wonders of the World. I would take them to, Roswell, or what is the town outside, right? The in New Mexico.
That's bold, girl.
Well, no. The reason I would do that, I'll be like, okay, tell me if that's true. Tell me, is this what everybody else look like? Is this what they do? Do they have space ice cream?
No, that's the dipping dots.
Yeah. But you see what I mean? I'll be like, tell me, was that true? I need proof.
That's bold.
Yeah, take them to Las Vegas. Bernadette said take them to Las Vegas and get them drunken videos and sell that video, right?
No. That won't happen ever.
But here's the thing, though. If they're living among us, then that means they have the same appearance of us, right?
Okay, maybe. Well, so I would say they finally integrated themselves, and then they cannot have the same appearance, right? Let's just say they have cat ears and a pig noses, right, and a foxtail. So, and then it's just hypothetical, right? Something just totally popped up in my mind. So, like, what else would you do with them? Like, where, for example, what about food? What kind of food would you let them taste first?
Pizza.
Can I ask what is tacos al pastor?
Oh yeah,
tacos al pastor.
I'm probably butchering that. Sorry.
Tacos al pastor. You want to ask me?
Tacos al pastor.
Yeah. Because Julie just barely had enchiladas like 3 weeks ago. Tacos al pastor are pretty much like chicken shawarma. So it's on a skewer, and you just cut it, and it's layered with pork, pineapple, and onion, and you just cut it on a skewer where it's cooked.
Well, that's definitely not kosher.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But yeah, Julie just barely had enchiladas. And
we're not going to talk about that. We're talking UFOs and aliens. Forget about Arizona.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just telling you what that was.
Yeah, none of what you just heard is fucking normal. Okay, fuck these fucking people. It's 2024. It's time to get rid of the weirdos. If somebody's acting and talking like a fucking weirdo, call these motherfuckers out. What are they gonna do? Sue us? Oh no. Yeah, that's not gonna work over here, motherfucker. What else you gonna try to do? Off me? Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Man, oh man. Open for interpretation to everybody, right? That's where we will leave that, church. Thank you for making these videos. Like I said, man, I appreciate you making these videos. It's important to open the door for these conversations. It's a difficult thing to talk about. Like you said in this video, it's very hard to make people understand it because it does require a lot of diving down deep, and not everybody has that kind of time. But you get on here and you do your best to explain your side of it and where you see it from, and I appreciate that you're spreading awareness about this kind of stuff. It's important that we do that. It's a fucked up world that we're living in. You can't believe anything that you see when it comes to what the news is telling you, and even language itself, as church is teaching us about right here. Even language has its disguises and ways that people will use it to speak to each other in a way that you might not know what they're talking about to each other, right? If the government can do it, regular people can do it too. And that's what church is getting at here, church. I appreciate you making this video, man. The original video will be in the description as always. Subscribe to Upchurch. He talks about some wild topics on here that not many people are willing to cover. But I like to spread the awareness of these kinds of things, and when Upchurch gets on here and makes these kind of videos right here, he dives in a way that nobody else thinks of it, and he might get called crazy, he might get some hate for it, but at the end of the day, he's just doing what he can to try to spread the word into the world about these things that a lot of people might not notice going on around them. And that's one of the most important things in the world, is spreading that kind of knowledge that is difficult for people to even wrap their head around or come to terms with on any level. So church, like I said, man, I appreciate you making these videos. I appreciate you guys watching. We're going to get out of here. I'm Vakasa Kabi. A reaction video a day keeps the doctor away. Fuck those apples. Leave a like for me. Comment those suggestions. Subscribe up this way. Bang the notification bell for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you so much. Have a beautiful one. Peace.